Hey, is Georgia's line of scrimmage back to bully mode? And I'll talk about what I mean by that right now. But before we do that, make sure you are subscribed. All right, college football, nothing but college football on the show, baby. All right, year round, it's ball and only ball. If you're a Georgia fan and you want more Georgia content, let us know by subscribing. The comment section is nice. We appreciate that. But when you subscribe to the channel, it lets us know you want more Georgia content if you're a Georgia fan. So we appreciate y'all for locking in. So I mentioned this. It's about the line of scrimmage for me. And I understand, like, there's definitely a ton of questions around the quarterback position and the offense and all that. But you just had a quarterback in Carson Beck who's going to play on Sundays. He's got sweet tattoos, who's not leaving Athens with a national title to his name after 2 seasons starting at quarterback for the Dogs. And I have to believe that all the blame he got, all the blame Mike Bobo got, the receivers, all that, some of that's warranted. But what made Georgia so filthy when they were reeling off back-to-back national titles? You say Brock Bowers. Yep, hear that. I agree. Stetson Bennett. Yeah, second year he elevated his game. Totally. Y'all, what made Georgia in those 2 seasons was they would punch you in the face and smile about it. And they would eat punches themselves. Those 2 years, man, they ran for right around 200 yards a game on the ground and allowed less than 100 yards on the ground a game both seasons. That was their MO. You were not running on them, and they would run on you, and they'd move you against your will. Last year, Georgia ran for right around 120 a game. Not great. They allowed 131 on the ground per game. Now, hear me. That's not awful. It's just not up to par with what Georgia expects and what they have been at their best. Like, I think a lot of the problems last year you point to, and I just told you, Carson Beck, Mike Bobo, the receivers, all that catches some blame, whether it's fair or not. Why was Carson Beck pressing? Why was he throwing the ball in harm's way so much? I don't know. Maybe he felt like he had to. Maybe he was having a situation where his ground game wasn't able to put him in position to where those DBs were having to worry about the ground game quite as much because the front seven can handle it. Maybe so. Mike Bobo, hey, you can't convert a third down. We're 39% on third down. What's up with that? I don't know. Maybe because you're in longer third downs. I mean, Georgia was, I think, 1 for 8 on third down against Florida. 1 for 8 on third down of 3rd and 8 or more. Okay, you're living in 3rd and 8 plus 8 times during a game. That's not winning football. It's not going to help you. Now, it was winning football on that day, but you hear what I'm saying. Better teams, better rosters make you pay for it. Who knows if DJ Lagway stays in that game if things are different? I don't know. The secondary, hey, doesn't look very Georgia-ish, right? We have Texas carving us up a little bit here in the SEC title game, and Mississippi State's throwing it around. Like, all that is fair, but maybe if teams weren't running for 130 a game, secondary doesn't have to worry about that quite as much. So it all builds on each other. And to me, I think everything for Georgia, what they've been built on historically, is that line of scrimmage. And it wasn't Georgia brand. Like, for me, it's like, when you ask your parents, can we stop for food? We have food at home. Can we stop for Georgia line of scrimmage? We have Georgia line of scrimmage at home. That wasn't the Georgia line of scrimmage we've come to know. It just that wasn't what it was, man. So here's my guess on this thing. I think that Kirby Smart took last year personal. Can't prove it. Don't know if he would ever tell you that in an open forum, but I have to believe by how he coaches football, what his teams have been built on. They're physical. They're tougher than you. They're the bully. That wasn't them last year. We all saw that. And so I think for Kirby, they're going to learn from that. I think that's going to bother them. I think that's going to fuel them here in fall camp. And what we know about Georgia is they handle missteps and, dare I say, adversity the correct way. The adversity that was last year, in a year where they still won the SEC and they were nowhere near their expectation of what they should be on the line of scrimmage, I think that's going to be something that fuels them going forward. Like, as we sit here in May, I trust the mentality of Kirby Smart to make sure this is something that they fix here in the future. I also trust what's in the cupboard. Like, Georgia has nothing but top 3 classes right now on their roster. It's not a matter of ability. Now, some of it is a matter of can they stay healthy? Because you look at the injuries last year for Georgia, Tate Ratledge gets dinged up at parts of the year. PicKell Williams, first-round pick, he's dinged up. Trevor Etienne, he's dinged. Like, it was a collection of maybe the perfect storm to some degree, but still, I think Georgia overall, they should have been better than they were last year, and I'd be wildly surprised if they're not better this upcoming season. So what does it mean for Gunnar Stockton? It means you don't have to ask him to be what Carson Beck was last year and throw the ball all over the place. It means defensively, you should be better in the secondary because that front seven should be better against the run. So all that's to say now, is Georgia back to bully mode up front? If they are, Georgia's going to be right back up there in Atlanta and be in contention to win the SEC for the second year in a row. And I think Kirby Smart's going to make sure that the issue is forced up front by nature of how they conduct their business out there in Athens.